Hey guys, this is Aegis, and I've got a game between the Backwater Gulchers and Team Voldemort. Vix is going to be playing Zerg for Team Voldemort, and Kenshi playing as the Terran player for the Backwater Gulchers, and both teams are fielding Master League players this game. It is GSL Terminus SE, and we'll see how each player performs. Vix, if he wins this game, he will take the entire match for his team, Team Voldemort. Kenshi needs to take this game in order to keep his team in the match, and whoever does win this match will be able to advance to the semifinals of the American Pro League, MogTechCorp.net/APL. This is the Beta League Season 1, and Vix over here spawning as the blue Zerg player. And all the way on the other side is our Terran player, Kenshi. This is a gigantic map, so our Zerg player is going to be pretty comfortable expanding a lot on this map. We'll see if he's able to do that in this game, and we'll see if Kenshi is able to prevent it. And of course, this version of Terminus does have these rocks at the third base to prevent extreme turtling and then pushing off of 3 bases with one gigantic push. So Kenshi here throwing up his supply depot at the front. Overlord now scooting its way across the map, and our Zerg player going to be ascending an Overlord in the other direction as well. And we'll soon see what Vix is going to decide to do. If he's going to go for his pool first, or if he's going to go for his hatch first. If we see a hatch first, we should see him saving up to 300 minerals. He does have almost enough now. He has a drone on the way out across the map, so that will be a scouting drone. We'll see if he decides to pull another drone to go ahead and throw up that expansion. And our Terran player over here, we'll see if he decides to grab gas, which he is, and with that gas, that will delay his expansion a little bit, but as we saw in last game, it doesn't delay it all that much. We have our Terran player scouting all the positions on this map. We'll be reaching our Zerg player next, and our Zerg player, with his Overlord not seeing anything in this direction, will be redirecting that Overlord into this empty space over here so he can spot into Kenshi's base later on. And it looks like we have a hatch first and then immediately a pool after that for our Zerg player. Terran player now walling this completely off. Another Marine is coming out onto the field. Orbital command is 75% done, and the harvesters are in the refinery. Going to be mining away for some time. That Overlord is going to continue scooting its way across the map. The drone over here, going to be scouting out our Terran player, is going to scoot up the ramp and see that it is walled off. And there's also, where's that Marine? He's scouting the inside of his base just in case there's anything over there. Factory now coming up for our Terran player, and that drone did get taken out. The Marine wasn't even necessary to save that SCV getting away with 5 HP. And it looks like Kenshi is actually throwing up a bunker over here, trying to get Vix to overreact, and it looks like a couple of drones will be pulled, but it just... He's overreacting. We have a spine crawler coming up. There's no sort of rush coming out across the map. He is going to start picking away at this bunker with those drones. He should soon see that there's not much going on, as there are no Marines or SCVs coming in this direction at all. A couple of Zerglings also coming out. Yeah, he needs to cancel the spine crawler to get that 100 minerals back, as well as the drone to mine with. Zerglings now out in the field. That's plenty of a Zergling force out for our Zerg player. He does have the spine crawler now up, and a factory is now switching over to the barracks with the reactor. I guess maybe he was preparing for that reactor. No, he did not see the reactor, so he did overreact a little bit, but he now does have the spine crawler at the ready just in case those Hellions decide to barrel down his front door. Larva popping off the main hatch right now. Additional Queen is on the way. Starport coming up, so it will be a drop, possibly into the main 2 starports on the way. We might be seeing 2-port Banshee along with those Hellions. The Zerglings now getting roasted. I wonder if Vix understands this possibility. There's still a single Marine at the top of the ramp. However, the Zerglings may have been able to run in there and see this double starport play, and it looks like a tech lab is coming up. Maybe even see a switch off from this barracks for that second starport, so that we can get additional Banshees out onto the field. The Hellions are scooting their way across the map right now, and our Zerg player has a Queen up at the front, going to be able to start picking away at those Hellions as quickly as possible. Another Queen coming to the ramp to try to block that off. Hellions poking at all of the towers, trying to roast away all of the map vision for our Zerg player. Drones now getting pulled back into the main. Does not want to get those roasted at all. Another Spinecrawler is coming up. The Hellions going to be scooting in here and trying to do some roasting action. Looks like they're going to scoot into this backside and find nothing over there because the drones have been transferred out. 2 drones over there now popping out, going to get roasted. 3 drones actually. These 2 Spinecrawlers actually going to be denying those Hellions from suiciding themselves into the main. The Queen may actually go down if microed properly. That Queen is trying to back up and another Queen has come forth, vomiting again. Pretty good control from Kenshi. Pretty good control from both players. Vix over here getting his Roach Warren up, and that second Queen is getting roasted away. And the pokes from those Spinecrawlers gonna take out all of those Hellions. Bad control there. However, there are now Banshees on the way. Those will be out on the field real soon. Another command center is coming up, and the barracks is floating back over to the reactor to get additional Marines out onto the field. The Zerglings are going to be running across the field to check out everything that's going on over here. However, the Banshees will soon be making their way across the field. There are going to be 4 of them. Oh boy. And it looks like we have a ton of Zerglings advancing to this position. Baneling's Nest is about to finish, so we'll see if this is able to bust this place down. There's only a few Marines left over here. A Viking is on the way. This is not going to be the right response. He's going to see all of these Banshees, and he should be able to respond by throwing down Spore Crawlers. He has the Evolution Chamber. There's a Spore Crawler coming up in the main. However, there are 4 Banshees, and there are now Banelings being morphed. 4 Banelings on the way. Additional Zerglings coming up, and the Zerglings are at the front trying to bust in here. And looks like the Marines have their work cut out for them, and the SCV is trying to do as much repairing as possible. There's a gap over there already. The SCVs need to block that as much as possible. The Zerglings not quite ready to run in, and the Zerglings get their way into the base. There's Banshees on the way. The Marines are over there. Banelings morphing in the main. The few units over here for our Terran player are just unable to do much, and the command center is now floating out, and the bunker does go down. The Banshee working on those Zerglings, and the Banelings headed into the main mineral line. He needs to react to this ASAP. Looks like those Banelings do go off on all of the SCVs, and the Banshee able to clean that up. Looks like our Terran player is going to hold this off just fine. Where are those Banshees? Where are the remaining Banshees? Did they get taken apart? Oh no. Looks like the Queens may have been able to finish up those Banshees. However, I think he's lost a lot of drones. Workers killed by Kenshi, 20, and that Viking over here still trying to clean up some of those Overlords. Workers killed by Vix is only 17. And we'll take a look at the units tab. It's 24 SCVs to the 16 drones of Vix. Kenshi is a little bit ahead. The longer this game goes on, the further he will become ahead, and it looks like a couple more Zerglings are going to be running in here. Banshee going to go to work once again. Zerglings running into the main, going to try to pick off some additional SCVs. SCVs getting pulled off the line to fight against those pesky Zerglings, and the Banshee over here doing her share of work. 3 kills on that Banshee, and it looks like we may have lost that Viking as well. Oh no, it looks like we have 2 Banshees over here trying to pick away at all of those Queens. Let's look at the kill count on these Banshees. 2 kills and 8 kills. That's a total of 10 kills for those 2 Banshees combined. Looks like they're going to be flying right by this Spore Crawler. Going to get a little bit shot at. They can actually come in through this angle and do some damage to the drones over here. And our Terran player is getting to saturate his natural expansion now. There is a mule mining there already. And our Zerg player getting up his lair. The Viking has landed. He has 2 kills, and the Banshees are cycling back. Looks like they will try to poke into the main, perhaps pick something off. And And it looks like they're going to be flying by that Spore Caller yet again. I don't like the positioning of these at all. They're going to fly straight into that Spore Caller. They can actually do damage over here. Just pick off a couple of drones and go away. Those drones are getting one-shotted. And, well, as long as he controls properly, those two Banshees did manage to do some additional damage. The second Banshee almost went down, 5 HP left. Queens, I think they only do 2 damage to, or 4 damage. Looks like another shot would not have cleaned that Banshee up. Kenshi now grabbing the 2 gas at his natural expansion, 35 SCVs to the 32 drones of our Zerg player. Aspire is now on the way, and 6 more drones, missile turrets coming up for our Terran player, so he will be defended against those Mutalisks. Raven also out on the field, can throw down that point defense drone to block the Muta shots as well. Stimpack now on the way for our Terran player, 2 gas getting taken at the natural expansion. Kenshi now at 76 food to the 48 food of Vix, so Kenshi is very far ahead. He can actually possibly try to take another base. He has also got his SCVs repairing up his 2 Banshees to make sure they can do additional work later on. Barracks coming up with the reactor as well as more Marines and the Stimpack. Siege Shanks on the way, and he also has siege mode. Viking over here trying to pick off some additional overlords. Vix is being forced to produce overlords left and right, also forced to reproduce his drones as the Vikings do their work. Scan going down, seeing exactly what's coming up. The Spire is now finished. Kenshi is just so far ahead at this point. 90 food, 60 to 64 food. Viking is continuing to scout across the map to see what's going on. 3 more Banshees, still no cloak, but he's going to be able to poke some more. Well, the Spore Callers and the Queens together should be able to hold this off, but the Banshees have done their damage already. I feel like Kenshi should focus more on actual units than going for these harass type units since he is so far ahead. 95 food to 68 food, a 3rd hatch is on its way. A drone is making its way over here eventually to throw down that expansion. And looks like the Banshees are going to be coming in here and almost running into that Spore Caller. And it looks like that Banshee almost... Okay, looks like 1 more drone goes down and the Spore Caller is starting to go to work. That Queen is also about to go down, getting focused down by 3 Banshees. It looks like the Mutalisks are out now, so they will be able to clean up these Banshees. But since they are out, they can just suicide themselves going for those drones. And that's more drones. Workers killed, 46 workers killed. And the last Banshee still working there. 48 kills at the end of all of that harassment, and our Terran army is now pushing to the front. Raven along for the ride, as well as Marines and Siege Shanks. Raven going to be spotting for those creep tumors and cleaning them up. Siege Shanks now sieging up, and the Mutas and Bald in the back going to be trying to take care of this army all by themselves. Going to be poking that SCV in the face. Siege Shank already, and the Banelings at the front going to be siege blasted by those Siege Shanks. Terran army is slowly crawling forth. Additional reinforcements coming to the backside, and a point defense drone is going to prevent those Mutalisks from doing too much damage over here. I think there's actually another point defense drone almost ready. 2 more energy and he'll have it. Those Mutas won't be able to do all that much. More overlords on the way as Vix is supply blocked. Siege Shanks now unsieging and moving forth once again. More Banelings being morphed. He's going to try to bust this with his Banelings, but the Siege Shanks over here will be able to do a lot of damage to those Banelings. Miss micro with the Banelings being blasted to shreds by this Siege Shank over here. 3 kills on this one, 4 kills on this Backwater guy. Making drones while this is happening, pretty bold. More units streaming across the map. Vikings, Siege Shanks, Marines, and Marauders. 136 food for our Terran player. The Muta's trying to do some damage over there, possibly picked off one of the tanks, but the Marines are still at the ready, advancing the Siege Shank yet again. Vikings also coming onto the field will be able to help deal with those Mutas. Mutas now coming forth, and the Zerglings and the Banelings all rolling in here. The Siege Shanks trying to take care of them, the Marines backing into a corner. And it looks like all the Banelings get taken care of without doing all that much damage. Vikings and the Marines advancing forward. 2 Ravens out on the field as well. Zergling's going to be coming into this position as well. Siege Shanks trying to do as much damage as possible. A point defense drone coming up, preventing those Mutos from doing any damage. And the Spore Caller here going to get taken out by those Marines real soon. Siege Blast on those Zerglings. And 6 Banelings trying to get morphed, but it's just looking like it's not enough. A Thor is also out on the field. Vikings landing down to do additional damage as quickly as possible. Vix falling to 50 food. Kenshi, it looks like he will be able to take this game real soon. Drones getting blasted as they run back into the main. A couple of Banelings in the main, a couple of Zerglings being made. But the Terran army continues to stream across the field. The third base has been taken, and the gas is up and mining as well. The Terran army is coming down, denying the third base. Seashank's going to be able to take care of all of those Banelings. There's not a single bio unit over there. GG from Vix, and this game goes to the Backwater Gulchers. This is going to take it to 2-1, and we are going to be going to Game 4, where Kenshi, his team is losing, will be able to choose the next map.